That was the dumbest thing ever. Well guys, it's 11:45 on a Friday night. It's always a good time to be sleeping for an old guy like me. But I am headed out to rescue a customer off the side of the road that left our shop tonight. We had to work a little bit late to get the truck finished. I think we finished it around 7, and he called me, well, he Facebook messaged me about an hour ago and said that he was stranded on the side of 71 about an hour from the shop. And I think we think what happened, we had just put a transmission in the truck, but he said there's a rubber hose up in front of the intercooler or radiator on an aftermarket transmission cooler that blew off. That is something that we did not install, but it is something that we generally look for, but sometimes some of those things are buried between the radiator and intercooler and we don't see it. It looked like everything had factory transmission lines when we were installing the transmission, so I guess we didn't really look any further, but it looks like that rubber hose blew off the cooler line, which loses all your transmission fluid, and then you don't go anywhere and you're sitting beside the road. So he had his mother-in-law come pick him up, and I'm going to go out and pick up the truck and bring it back so we can fix it next week. Well, I am on the side of 71, about an hour and a half from home, and this is a rescue mission for a customer that blew a transmission line off of an aftermarket cooler because there was rubber lines used with hose clamps. Just a reminder for you guys that anytime if you're using aftermarket tranny lines or coolers and installing them, make sure you use push lock hose that's rated for 300 psi, or use stainless braided or OEM style lines. That way you're not needing a rescue mission in the middle of the night. So I am going to load this truck up, take it back to the shop, and we will fix it next week. Well, we got it loaded up. It is 2 o'clock, and it took a little longer than I was hoping, but good thing I have a wireless remote for the winch. You sit in the truck and winch yourself on there. And I also took an extra 5 minutes of my time and put my drone in the air and put it on a 360 degree, so it filmed me the whole time I was doing it. I thought it'd be kind of fun to do something like that, so we'll see what that looks like when we get back. I'll head back home and get this thing back to the shop, and we will take it apart on Monday and see what we can find. Sorry, I'm really bored. I'm really tired.
Weak arms are heavy, there's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop.
Okay, we're getting the truck fixed up that blew this line off, and as you can see, this is the factory line coming from the transmission, which has a factory connection here. And then this is where it goes up on the trans cooler, up in between the intercooler and radiator, and this was just hose clamped on, and that's what blew off. And anytime, and this has no hose barbs on it or anything. So this hose is technically rated for the pressure, but because it was hose clamped, it blew off. So you can see, I'll show you a little bit what we did to fix it. We took stainless braided line, and I don't know if you can see on the camera, but we had to cut these fittings down to get them to fit. But we put a half-inch compression coupling right on the cooler to 8AN stainless braided line. If you come over on the inside, it'd be a little tough to get in here, but you can see we did the same thing. We cut the lines off here and used compression couplings to stainless braided, and that should get us all fixed up. And we just got to make sure that none of these lines rub together, and you got to make sure that you don't use rubber hose and hose clamps because they will fail. That was the dumbest thing ever.
Yay!
I don't know about the dumbest thing ever.
It's up there though.
Stupid idea, but hey, done is done.
Can't go back
It's
now.
too bad we have to fix it, man.
We just sleeve it in here. We can put it back together.
Last night we cut more of the S10 off. We're shortening this thing 10 inches. Basically we're taking this 4-link bracket and we're moving these 4-link brackets 10 inches forward. It'll take us from 124 inch wheelbase to 114 inch wheelbase. Len made a jig to where we could run the tubing notcher all the way across, notch all these tubes. Then he's got to go through and cut all these off, clean up the frame, and then we're going to build new door bars coming out the back. So it'd be about an 80-hour project is what we're estimating.
Working on getting everything shortened up and cleaned up, and pretty much getting ready to notch in the new tubes. Took the tubing notcher last night and had kind of made a special extension for it to where I could reach in here pretty far. I was able to come in, get 4 bars from each side. So I've got this bar ready to where this is going to notch in. Got a little bit of fitment stuff to refine yet, but so this will kind of be the main bar that everything's going to mount off of. The new 4-link brackets will come in here. I don't know, there's a whole new, pretty much what you saw me cut out, that's what I need to build back in, just do it all 10 inches shorter. So this morning I've been spending a lot of time just working on cleaning up everything and getting ready to weld new stuff in. So hopefully by the end of the day we'll be started on welding the new pipes back in and start putting it back together.
Just finished up a 68 RFE build, getting ready to put the valve body back together. That's one of our Toemaster builds for the billet input shaft. Comes with a Sonex overdrive clutch housing, GPZ clutches, heavy duty lower reverse sprag, upgraded valve body, and we run a PPE double D pan.
Here are the powder coated pipes. This is going on the white mega cab long bed. This is for the twin turbo setup, and we powder coated these pipes in house. This is all going to be white. White looks good when it's clean, but it takes a good bit of maintenance to keep clean. Then we also did the clamps and the braces. And then if you come over here, I'll show you. These are the pipes going on the triple turbo Fummins truck that we showed you. But it's a really nice candy apple. I don't know if you can see in the, we did a metallic silver base with a translucent candy apple red over top. So it turned out really nice. Then over here we've got the covers. This is for the twin setup. This is a 472 over 488. And we're starting to cut these covers down and polish them up. It's always a fun job. But you end up with a black face and black hands, but in the end it looks good. Here we can see this is a Mishimoto radiator, and we welded dash 20 bungs on. That way we can do all AN lines, no rubber hose. Did it for the lower, and that goes with our upper and lower kit, as you can see here. This is our billet upper piece that has a dash 20 adapter, and same thing with the lower piece here. The AC line or the port's kind of in the way, but if you stick your camera in here, you can see. Let me turn the light on that. That goes with this. It's a billet alternator bracket, a billet tensioner support, and then also a billet AC bracket as well. And here you can see how we modified the intercooler for vibrant V-band clamps. So we have no intercooler boots on the whole setup. On any twin turbo setup that makes a lot of boost, we really prefer to do all vibrant clamps, just so you never have to worry about blowing a boot off. It makes a setup a lot more reliable long term, because there's nothing worse than railing into it on the highway and blowing an intercooler boot off, and then you're sitting on the side of the road trying to find your clamp and put your boot back on.
Now on these, a lot of times the transmission lines, they won't clear the exhaust. So what I want to do here is I want to shove the transmission over to the driver's side, put the lines in, and then reposition it so it'll actually bolt back up.